News breaking as we speak, news all around the leagues, teams trying to improve for next season. Now the Falcons, they've got a busy day ahead of them. What's on the schedule?
Okay, the Falcons are going to kick off their head coaching search in earnest today, interviewing at least two candidates for that position, Chiefs offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy and 49ers defensive coordinator Robert Saleh. Now, of course, Bieniemy is a household name at this point. He's had several head coaching interviews in the past couple of cycles, has gotten many public endorsements from the likes of Andy Reid. And as for Saleh, he is expected to be one of the hottest candidates in this cycle for the work he did not just last year with a very talented 49ers defense, but this year with a completely depleted 49ers defense. Detroit is going to be in the mix for Saleh as well. And this is not the end of the Falcons head coaching interviews. They're also going to express interest in the likes of Titans offensive coordinator Arthur Smith, who is going to be very popular in the head coaching circuit. But remember, any coaches who are with teams that are playing in wild card games cannot interview for jobs until next week. Falcons also getting moving on their general manager search. They put in a request for Colts college scouting director Morocco Brown. Rick Smith, the former Texans GM, already has emerged as a strong candidate. Look for Saints executive Terry Fontenot and Rams college scouting director Brad Holmes to be in that mix as well. Okay.
Appreciate you, Tom. Of course, the Jets parted ways with Adam Gase just yesterday. We'll have more on that throughout the show. Our eyes are on Jacksonville and other teams that might be looking to make some changes here on this Monday following the regular season. Appreciate you, Tom. Talk to you in a bit. More highlights now. Let's talk Packers-Bears. That didn't hurt my feelings at all this game. No.
Let's go to Lambeau South. Here we go. Aaron Rodgers from Butte Community College. Anyone want to guess what the mascot is of Butte Community College? Take a guess.
Firemen.
Firemen?
The unicorns.
Goats.
That's a good guess. It's the Roadrunners. Oh. And Marquez Valdez-Scantling strapped on an Acme rocket through the Chicago night. Aaron Rodgers played a perfect first half. I mean that literally perfect. Kurt Hennig, 10 for 10, 158.3. And Mitch Trubisky did not play a perfect second half. In fact, he's intercepted here by Adrian Amos. Amos also got him that 2019 Week 1 opener, 35-16. The Packers are dancing. The National Football Conference goes through Lambeau. Peter, what do you got?
It almost didn't. If that game was a little bit different at one point with a 4th and 1, it could have gotten real interesting here because the Seahawks and the 49ers were playing. And had Green Bay lost and Seattle won, and the Saints had lost, well then Seattle will be your 1 seed. But gosh, the 49ers did not lay down. And Robert Saleh's defense kept Russell Wilson bottled up the entire game until this. A perfect 4th and goal loft to Tyler Lockett. I cannot express enough how huge that pass was. It gives the Seahawks the win. It ensures that they're the home team in the 2 seed. Taking on the Rams, or the 3 seed, taking on the Rams this weekend.
All right, let's go Cardinals-Rams. Kyle, you mentioned the Roadrunners. This guy's pretty fast. But speaking of Roadrunners, why didn't Wile E. Coyote just order pizza from Acme? I mean, he had an Amazon account, right? He was ordering everything else.
You're right, Nate.
I just don't get it. Always confused me as a kid.
You're the expert on pizza and football, Nate.
You're right about that,
yep.
Kyle. Never pizza and drive, that's for sure. But Kyler Murray's banged up. He would get twisted up. He just wasn't the same. He would hit the sideline, and they would have to put a backup. So in this game, we had an AAF quarterback, and then a Grey Cup winner.
I like this guy.
My guy, Chris Streveler, who looked like MMA QB, or QB MMA, as I would like to say. He has a great look. I don't know if he played that great, but he was tough as nails, trying to make plays, and here he couldn't. Troy Hill, who is the best DD in all of football, it seems like every 2 weeks he has a pick six, a fumble recovery to the house. He doesn't make a regular play. He's like Ed Reed in a Rams uniform. This was an 84-yard interception return to the crib. That's the second pick six of the season. Had a pick six versus the Cardinals in Week 13. So obviously he loves playing. The Cardinals are making plays. 4th quarter, Cardinals trailing 18-7. Kyler Murray, he would get back in. He looked pretty quick, though. He was moving around. I was surprised by how well he was moving. But, you know, Samson Ebukam, he got to him, and that was a loss of 9. And they were all over him. Once again, it seems like this Ram defense has the perfect formula on how to stifle this Cardinals offense. They know how to keep Kyler Murray in check, and then Jalen Ramsey was all over DeAndre Hopkins. I had to get that out because I have to show Jalen Ramsey love. The Rams, they win this one 18-7. Wolford played okay, but you know what? He has a great look, and we want to hear from him. What's up, John?
I had a lot of fun, to be honest. You know, a little anxious going in, if I'm being 100% honest. And once I got rolling, I was just playing football again. And it was fun that we got the win. There's obviously a ton of room for improvement. Missed a few throws, got to convert in the red zone. But overall, I'm just happy we got the win. We're in the playoffs and moving on to the next game.
I want a Wolford jersey. I do. The Rams head to Seattle to take on their division rivals, the Seahawks, Saturday afternoon. That one on Fox at 4:40 p.m. Eastern. A triple header both days on a super wild card weekend. We'll get you set for all of that throughout the show. Wolford, we saw him in action against the Cardinals. He held his own. I was impressed. Now, if Jared Goff is healthy and good to go for wild card weekend, Peter, what do they do at quarterback? What should they do?
What a quandary, because even when Jared Goff was healthy, he wasn't playing great, and now Wolford comes in and the team rallies around him, and Wolford threw a bad interception early. Like, when that interception was thrown, my stomach dropped. I was like, oh, geez, here we go. We're in for a long drop.
Yeah.
And then guess what? Wolford bounced back. I think that showed me so much about not only Wolford, but about how the coaching staff felt about Wolford. This is the good stuff that he threw.
Peter, what are you about to say?
I'd roll with Wolford.
What?
I'd roll with Wolford. I know $100 million is going to Goff and all this stuff. I'd roll with Wolford. The team responded. He's the hot hand. And the way that they played in this game, I know he didn't throw any touchdown passes. And I know that Goff put up 38 points against the Cardinals a couple weeks ago. To me, I like Jared Goff. I think if he's not 100% healthy, Wolford's definitely the choice. If he is 100% healthy, I still think I might roll with Wolford. He does things out of the pocket that Goff doesn't. Seattle's defense hasn't seen it. I know it's a crazy take, and I haven't spoken to McVay about it yet, but I would consider Wolford. The way that team played for him yesterday, it felt like a different juice, different energy. And you know what? He might be able to do things that Jared doesn't even do.
Here's one thing that Jared does. Jared Goff went to the New Orleans Superdome when it had fans in it and won an NFC title game. And that was after he had beaten a really good Cowboys team in the playoffs. Yeah. The Wolford thing is fun, and obviously we'll freak out if they start him. It's an awesome story. But this is not a guy who just got in the league. This is a huge deal. I know what you're getting at with the energy. There's a little bit of a Jalen Hurts coming in for the Eagles when the Wentz thing just wasn't working, and maybe the messages turned out. I also think it takes a certain type of coach to do this, to have the onions.
Is he not the guy?
Of course he is. Made guy, not going anywhere, not coaching for his job. He runs the program. He's been to the Super Bowl. I think he can do it. Would I do it? Fortune favors the bold. I think I would go with Jared Goff. If he's healthy. Jared Goff has won an NFC title game. John, you understand, if John Wolford, you start him, and he comes out in 2 picks and a fumble in the first quarter, and you lose the game, like, that's a terrible look. I'm surprised to hear you say that, Peter.
This is bizarro world. What is happening? Did you guys switch seats and personalities all of a sudden?
Usually I'm a big Goff defender.
What's happening? You want to take the safe choice, and you're just saying roll with Wolford? Straighten me out.
Yeah. I say it doesn't matter if your defense plays that well.
Oh.
Let me tell people how it goes. Saturday night, before the team meeting, offense is in one room, defense is in another ballroom at the hotel, and coaches walk in. And I know it's Brandon Staley or Sean McVay, or maybe even both of them. They look at the defense and they say, listen, we have a quarterback for the first time in NFL history making his debut in Week 17 with playoffs on. It's the first of its kind.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen with that QB in the other room. What I need you to do as a defense is make play after play after. We don't win this game if you don't. And that defense, Drags, to your point, they stepped up and they stepped up big.
They're awesome.
QB hits, sacks, PBUs. Jalen Ramsey was all over the place. They had to pick 6 to the crib. So listen, as much as I can say, oh, well, Wolford has a little bit of juice and he can get outside. True. Jared Goff is the guy. He's been here before. He has a little bit of that experience. True. It's the defense. I don't care who the QB is. Yeah. If this defense plays like this, they have a chance of beating the Seahawks with whoever is at QB.
It's a great poetic take, Nate. At some point, Sean McVay needs to pick a starter.
Yeah. Who's the starter?
Wolford or Goff? Because here's what I would say. Wolford threw a bad pick early, but Wolford gave that defense a chance to win by not making any mistakes late. It was like, I'm just not going to turn the ball over. And I
put Wolford against Russell Wilson and DK and all that. I mean, this is not the Cardinals' backup.
Now,
this is a big deal.
The safe hedge here for McVay is you start Goff, then you use Wolford like Taysom Hill, and you bring him in, and now you have no idea when he's coming in.
He's that guy, too. He could do that.
You use both, and now you got a mobile quarterback. But who takes that first snap is what I want to know, because Nate? I don't think it's a slam dunk Goff, even if he is healthy.
I'm no doctor, but I don't trust the fact that Goff just had something done to his thumb. And he's going to go out there and throw with that thumb in a game where you have a Seattle defense that loves to get up the quarterback. Jamal